Perfect. And so we are great believers in project-based learning. There is plenty of research that backs the fact that project-based learning increases learning outcomes. I'm not going to go into the details right now, but I will be happy to provide it to you if you are interested to know more details. However, implementing project-based learning is difficult and challenging because it's difficult for teachers to manage multiple projects, especially if they have a lot of classes. And it's also difficult to, in a team, to find out who did what in the project. So what we did is an all-in-one platform to manage classroom projects and collaborative learning. And the fact that this is done in technology makes it easier to manage because, you know, and that's why companies are using softwares like Trello, Monday, and Jira to manage projects, yet to manage projects not just in the company, but also countrywide and worldwide. And this is also the reason why in 2025, this is going to be an $8 billion business, yet schools have not done much with it. So our mission is to make high quality project-based learning accessible for all students. What that means is that teachers can plan and design their own projects. Students can collaborate in real time. You can monitor and respond in real time. And projects can be shared with parents and with people outside of the school. You can design an original project or choose from one of our more than 200 projects in the Project Pulse catalog that you can clone and immediately assign to your class. Students can collaborate in real time, and what that means is that any project asset contributed by any team member can be seen by the other team members in real time. So if I'm moving this text box, you can immediately see it as I'm moving it if you are in my team. You can monitor student progress with transparency and accountability, and what that means is that you can use our charts here. We are recording student contribution, and you can use these charts to see the student contribution, meaning how much time they spent in the system, how many sessions in and out they did, how many actions they performed, how many collaborations, and by that we mean that they are working on the same project asset together, or they are commenting on each other's work. This pie chart that you see here that shows the percentage of contribution by each student is the only analytics that students can see. And based on our experience, this is an amazing motivator because nobody likes to be the smaller piece of the pie. So let me just move on to the application. And so this is Project Pulse. What you see here is this is the My Drafts area. The My Drafts area is the area where teachers author their project before they assign them to the class. Each of these tiles is a project tile created by me. When you are getting your account, you will only get the plus button here that will allow you to create new projects. Once you have projects created, you will see them listed here, like you see mine here. And so there are 3 ways to create projects in Project Pulse. One of them is to use our Project Pulse catalog, which is the one that we recommend that you start with, because this is going to show you how to do projects in Project Pulse. The other is using our project wizard, which has 2 ways of using it. One of them is to use our one-tap templates to mix and match in different ways that will fit any customization needs that you may have for the project. So I'll explain later what that means. And the third is once you feel really comfortable using Project Pulse, you can create your own project from scratch. So let me just take you to the Project Pulse catalog. And so these are the projects in the catalog. We have about, and let me take you there. We have, let me count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and I'm working on the 19th. So we'll have 19 projects from TPSP mapped into Project Pulse. Those are whether K to 2, whether to extreme. Now, just the fact that it shows here K to 2 doesn't mean that you only can use it in those grade levels, because you'll understand that these are templates that actually can be used by also higher grade levels. So it all depends on the level of the student, but our templates can be actually used by higher grade levels as well. So Weather to Extreme, Stories and Telling Through Time and Culture, Everybody on the Move, Animal Nation, Amazing Animal Adaptations, Design a Garden, Utopian Destination, Innovation Celebration, News Show Production, Everyone's a Winner, A Study of Conflict and Mediation, Instant Millionaire, Nutritionist for a Month, Products in Motion, Candidate Z, So You Want to Be a Chef, Pursuit of Passion, and We've Got a Problem, and I'm working these days on For Real. And so all these will be available for you to use from your TPSP collection. Now we have different types of projects here. As I said before, we have starter projects. So starter projects are projects that you finish within a day or two. They usually no more than one tab. And for example, they include things like brainstorm template that can be applied for almost anything. So you can use that. And we have some digital citizenship and the whole GLAD series, the English GLAD series. So you can choose any of those to start with, and it's going to be great for starting with your students. Now, before you even start, I highly recommend, we created an orientation project for students. I know that it's difficult for teachers after listening to a 1-hour training to go in the classroom and to train their students when they barely had the opportunity to kind of have a whole grasp on the application. This is why we created student orientation and self-discovery. And there will be a special category here that's going to say orientation, and it will be listed there. And so that's actually going to happen tomorrow. You'll see here another project type that's going to say orientation, and you will find this project there. And this project actually, let me just open it for a minute. This project has trained students about all the skills by creating kind of like a game-like situation. So it's also fun. It's not just, they have to do this. And so it has things like, how to do text. So every single functionality has a 1 to 2 minute video that students can basically double click, listen to, and then do the task that they are asked to do here. Like in this case, there is a task to replace this text with your life story. So they have to write something up. This project is not assigned to teams. It's assigned individually. And in a minute, I'm going to show you how you do that. But basically all the types of functionalities, how to add media, everything has its own videos, 1 to 2 minutes. And your students, once your students finish this whole thing, believe me, they will know Project Pulse better than you do. And if you want to also learn from this, that's also a good idea to kind of open, double click and listen to these short videos that show you how to do stuff. And then, and then you'll be also an expert. So, so I highly recommend that you start with this. In purpose, I'm showing you this now because I'm showing you the catalog. And this is a very important project to do. Okay, so as I said, starter projects. Now we also have templates. Templates are more general topics. Let's go to the second tab here and to the second page. And for example, if you are doing a project about some historical event, or you're doing some science investigation, or you're doing a biography, or a state or country report, or anything, you can come here. These are more general topics, and you can use these templates, and they will be great for your purpose. And then lesson plans. So lesson plans are more subject specific. So here you will find those famous TPSP projects. So for example, I mentioned one of them is Candidate Z. This is a project, a TPSP project. So how do you know that this is a TPSP project? You just click inside, and here where it says details, it starts with this project was adapted from the Texas Performance Standards. So if you're not sure if this is a TPSP project, that's all you need to do. Just go there and find it out. And then we have, as I said before, in the lesson plans, we have others, as I mentioned before. We have the mediation. We have this one: should ants be protected or have their population controlled? This is TPSP. mediation, this is TPSP, news show production, TPSP, storytelling, TPSP. I mean, there's a lot, everybody on the move, amazing animal adaptation, design, I mean, there's quite a lot. Review it, there's some amazing project here for you to use. Okay, now completed project. Completed projects are projects that have been finished by students. The only reason we created them is to give you or the teacher an idea, how does a finished project look like? And so, when you go through this, you can check it out and see, and then you know what to expect of your students. So that's definitely something I would like you to review. And then we have those single tabs that I was mentioning that you can mix and match and create any combinations of anything that you need in a customized project. So for example, if you are doing a project where you need observations, you will probably take the project questions first, template, and then maybe combine to it the observations template and then the problem based on observation. And our wizard allows you to combine all three of them and create a project for yourself. So this is a way to create custom projects. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that any project in our project paths catalog, you can copy any tab of it to any other project. So basically your source is limitless. You can go into this, let's say that you are going into this project and you like one of these tabs and you want to add it to another project. All you have to do is just right click here and then go to copy to another project, and it gives you a list of your projects that you just created and it copies it there. So basically, even if our source of one tabs is limited, you can actually use any of these tabs and copy them to your custom project. So really, as I said before, your source is limitless. Okay, so so that was the single tab. Okay, so let me now, I usually like to start the training with showing you how to import your classes. But before we do that, I would like Lisa, Miss Dunn, to give you the teacher sign up link. And I would like you to sign up to Project Pulse.
Okay, I have pasted a bit.ly link in the chat that should take you to a Google Doc with a listing. You'll find your campus and the teacher sign up link for each of your campuses. And I see several of you already on here logging on, so that's great. You'll want to make sure to choose the appropriate link for your campus. That way we don't have to change your site later on. So we start with Bonnie Garcia, and then the list goes on. Veterans, Freedom, Killam, Ruiz, Matias de Llano, Clark, Zaffarini, Borchers, Perez, Cuellar, and San Isidro.
Now, if you already have an account in Project Pulse, you don't need to do this. You just need to log in the way you logged in last year. So again, I'm repeating, if you already have done this last year, you just need to log in and that's it.
So we'll allow you a couple of moments to sign in case you're new or returning. As Miriam mentioned, you won't need to do anything over again. You can just use your existing account from last year for those of you who worked with Project Pulse last year. After you've done this for the first time, you'll be able to sign in with Google.
Oh yeah, when you sign in and it gives you the prompt, please click on sign in with Google. There's a button on the top that says sign in with Google. Let me show you how that looks. Here, this is what you're getting. You use this button on the top that says sign in with Google. Okay.
Teachers, keep in mind that you can choose projects from the catalog that align to your student interests. You know, we do want to honor the students' interests so that they'll be motivated to research topics that are of interest to them, that they're passionate about. Miriam, I know there's I think the pursuit of passion is in here, correct?
Yeah, it is.
Didn't see it.
Well, because it's not so new, so you can always do this. Here, pursuit of passion. There it is. Just you can make a search on the top there, and here it is. So while the teachers are signing up, I can kind of go through it. So as I said before, although it says when you are looking at this, and let me do this again. Here it is. It says here 4th to 12th grade. That is, yeah, it's pretty wide because you can actually use it at any of these grade levels. It is just that whatever that the students are typing up is going to be according to their grade level. But this can be done by almost any grade. Let me know if you guys are finished or if anybody still is trying to sign up.
Can we see a thumbs up for those that are already signed in? Okay, great. See several people. Just type a little note in the chat if you're still signing on. And in the meantime, Miriam also has a template for the IIM, the steps to the research process, the independent investigation method. That's available as well.
Yes. So this is under templates. You will find it under templates. And here it is, independent investigation method template. And I'm sure that you guys are familiar with the method. So, you know, this starts with my topic and brainstorming, basically using questions and using, you know, whatever students know, about it, like, you know, text. And then the goal setting here. This is where they start, you know, going over the goal setting and the teacher questions and my questions and the research goals and the glossary. And then moving on to, I suggest there's two tabs here for research 1 and research 2. I suggest this is more complex. This is using our computational thinking tools. That's why I did 2 of them. You can always use the one that has only text in it, text and questions, like this one. So in that case, you just delete this tab. You just go in there, right click, and delete this tab. Oops. That's something that I'm getting. Let me see. No. Let me just check this out. And oh, we are talking about not the pursuit of passion. We're talking about the investigative method, right? Let me get here. Yeah. So you can always go there and delete this workspace if you don't need it. So that's why I provided 2 options here. The same with organizing. Organizing has a more complex method of using it, yeah. So please review which one fits you and then use that one and remove the one that you don't need. And just go through this, you know, and so this is the organizing of the note facts and then the goal evaluation. This is where they start key findings about my topic, glossary word, future IIM goals, And then product design, this is where they start designing whether this is a product that they build or something that they write about, and how they build it, step-by-step process of how they build it. And then the testing, if this is a product that they built, to test it to see, revision of the product in case that, there's critique about it, and then retesting again. And then finally the glossary. So, all this you can review and customize and so on to fit your goals. Okay, so let me just go again and show you how to import your classes. And I have a special account, a special Google Classroom account in a different account here, which is why I am logging out of this and going into that account. And so the way to do this is basically here, where it's here on the left side, where this is the projects window. And on the left side, we have a section that's called My Classes. And you click on the plus button, and it has two options: join class and create class. So you click on the create class, and there's an option here to fill the class's name, but you don't need to use that because you are Google Classroom School. All you have to do is just go to import Google Classroom, and you click on it. And then it gives you a list of all your Google Classrooms, and you just start clicking on one of them, and it gives you the roster. Now, the reason it gives you the roster is because we wanted to accommodate people like you that have gifted students. You don't want to import everybody. You just want to import the gifted students who are going to work on these projects. That's why we gave you the roster, and you can check mark the students that you want to import. Or if you import everybody, you just click select all. And then you click on the sync button on the bottom, and that should create the class. And then it tells you synced with Google Classroom. So here it provides you the students and everything. And let's try to do this. Now, you need to do this for each class separately, as I said before. That's the reason. The reason is that we wanted to allow you to select the students that you want to import. That's why you have to do it each class by itself. So let me know. Now, if you have a special problem, so who is that? Miss Gira, I see that it says mine has none. I think I provided you special instructions for solving that problem, and I sent you that via email. You actually need to go into the profile section here, and you need to go to where it says resync Google account, and then try to import it again. That's for Ms. Gira. And still doesn't work, even though you did that? You can unmute yourself.
No, ma'am, it did not.
It didn't work?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry you didn't tell me immediately, because I could have taken care of it. Okay, I'm gonna let our tech person know, and we'll resolve this issue. Anybody else has that problem? Okay. Okay, I would like all of you, please, those of you who are not able to import their Google Classroom, please send me an email with your details, and everything will resolve everything.
Yeah, Miriam, there's a couple of teachers here that are having that issue.
Okay.
Miss Madrid from Zaffarini, Miss
Okay.
Garcia, or Miss or Mr. Garcia, and then Camarena can't import a class. Riojas cannot import. A majority, I think, are having the same issue.
Really?
Yeah, it was just, okay, Miss Vasquez is providing some advice here. She says, you need to check off the boxes and give Google Classroom access.
That's right. Oh, sorry to tell you, I didn't say this because I assumed. So since Project Pals is a software that you will use, you should always, if Google is asking you that if you can use it, you should always say yes. Because if you say no, it's not going to allow it. So if Google prompts you, you always have to say yes. Now, if you already said no, then you need to do this. You need to go to the profile, go to unlink Google account, okay? And then try it again. This time, give permission.
Okay, then Ms. Garza says you can click on resync and then check off.
Yeah, you can do that too.
So looks like it, I think maybe taking those steps, it'll work. Yes, it works. Okay, great.
Perfect.
Thank you for that clarification, Ms. Garza. It looks like everybody's getting in. And thank you, Ms. Sanchez. She was able to sync from San Isidro. Okay. All right, so it's looking good. We have a question here. How do students log into Project Pals or Google Class? How to assign?
Okay, so everything will be clear once I continue my training. Okay. Okay, so now that you have your, and please don't import all your classes because if you have many, because I want to continue training you. Okay, so here is now we import the classes. We know how to do that. Now let's go to the Project Pals catalog. And let's say that you want to import to actually, you looked at the catalog and you went to the lesson plans and you like, should ants be protected or have their population controlled? And you want to, of course, to check a project, all you have to do is just click on the name and then go inside and start checking it out. And you go, these are the tabs on the top, and you can start going through them and see if this is something that you want your students to do. And once you decided, and don't worry about the fact that I'm not showing you everything here right now, I will get back to this. And let's say that you reviewed it and now you know everything that you like this and you want to clone this, then you just go in there and hover over the tile, and it has a clone button. I'm going to clone it now. Clone means that it makes a copy for you. It copies, because the projects in the catalog, you cannot change, you cannot do anything with them, but you can copy them, like clone them, and then that copy is yours and you can change it any way you want. And it tells you your project is being cloned, refresh this page in a few minutes. So, and the reason it does that is because it takes a few minutes to actually copy. So let's refresh the screen. And here it is. It just cloned it for me. And any project you clone, it always puts next to the plus button. So any new project will be always placed here. So here it is. So this is your copy. This is the one that you can now go in and start changing. Okay. Now, on the right side here, I mean, this is where the students are working, but here the right panel is the project dashboard. And what do you have in the project dashboard? You have first of all, you have details of the project. So you can go through this and change the image if you want, or you can, you know, have there's a description of the project. There is category, there's a status of the project, like is it in progress, finished, or graded? And then you also have team members here. And right now you only see the authoring teacher, but when you assign it, you'll see the team members, the student team members there. You can add standards. So here, to add standards, it's easy. Just click on the add standards, select Texas, which is TEKS, and then you go in there and select a subject. And since we are dealing here with science, I'm going to select science. And grade level, you select the grade level. Let's say that we are selecting 5th grade. And then it gives you the whole series of standards for 5th grade science. And then all you have to do is just click click the ones that apply for this project, and then add selected standards. And then that's how it looks. This is how you add the standards, okay? And you can also delete them using the delete buttons here on the right if something went wrong and so on. Now, after standards, supporting materials, you can add supporting materials. So, you know, you can add websites that you want your students to read before or during their work. You can select PDFs, G Suite files, Office 365 files, any YouTube file and any MP3 files. All those types of files can be added here. And when they are added, then you see them here listed, and the students only have to click on the link and it opens in a new tab. And after that, we have tasks. So tasks, we highly recommend that you do tasks, especially in a project-based learning environment, you know, where not everything is done by everybody. The work is divided, and you want to know exactly who did what. And you also want to assign top-level tasks, like tell them in this tab, I'm expecting this and this. So you can definitely do that before you, when you author the project, before you assign it to the class, you can create your top-level tasks. And all you have to do is just click on new task, and then, you know, read about ants, whatever this task is. And then you give them a due date, and then you describe what where they need to read. Maybe you have a resource or something that you want them to consult. Read this resource or whatever. I'm not going to put anything right now here. And when it says assigned to, right now you don't see any names and anything because this project wasn't assigned yet. You are just preparing it, and you're preparing like the top level task that everybody is going to get. And so when I press submit, then it's here, the task is here. You can even open it and read it. And this is going to all the students. So what I suggest in a top level task that you write before you write the task itself, that I suggest that you write observations tab. And then everybody knows that this one relates to the observations tab, and that's it. And so it says here, observation tab, read about ants, and so on. So basically, you can create those top level tasks here, and the students all students are going to get it. But once they get their, it's assigned to them, then they will have here on the bottom where it says assigned to, here where it says assigned to, they will have their names, the team member names, with little check boxes next to them, that it can be checked that whatever task they are creating for themselves will be assigned to a specific student. So definitely I suggest that you do that. Now, when the task is finished, then the students are going to click here on the check mark and it becomes green. So this is how you check tasks, the tasks are finished. Then assign to class. Now here is the assign to class. Now let me explain, because you guys are a Google Classroom school, you don't need to give them sign up links. Students don't need sign up links. By you importing them into the system, they are in the system. They don't need to sign up anymore after that. And therefore, all you need to give them is you need to give them a class code. Now let's see how that happens. And let me just wait. In fact, you know what? You don't even need to give them a class code. Sorry about the mistake. They just need to log in. Okay, and they need to log in, guess what? With their Google Classroom login. That's why when I showed you before how to log in, and I pointed to the top and said, log in with Google Classroom, that's what they also need to do. They need to get a sign in link, which I'm going to provide in a minute. And the sign in link, once they get that, they need to log in with Google. That's all they need to do. And once they have that, then their classes are going to show up. And let me go there for a minute. Then their classes, once they have that, their classes will be listed here. And all they have to do is just to go to that class, and they will find their projects that were assigned to them here. Now, how do you assign those projects to them? So let me repeat again with your students. We will provide you with a sign in link. And let me provide you that here. So I'm going to do it now. So this is the sign-in link. And let me type it in. And I think that Lisa has it. But if not, then here it is. I'm putting, I just added it here for everybody. This is the sign-in link that you need to provide to your students. Okay. Now, once you have that, then your students are going to you are going to be using the sign in with Google on the top. And let me go there again to make sure that you see sign in with Google. So you give them this link, you tell them sign in with Google on the top. They sign in with their Google Classroom login and they get into the system. And once they are in the system, then they come and they see their class here. They click on it and they find their project here. Okay, that's all. Now, let's see how this project will get into a class. So this is the project that you were preparing for them that we just cloned. And you are going to the section that says assign to class. And when you click assign to class, then you get your list of your classes. You now select a class. Let's say I'm selecting this class. Once I select the class, then it gives me two options, create teams and skip teams and assign. Create teams is, and most of you will use this all the time, is when you decide who's going to work in each team. The skip teams and assign is when you want to give them freedom and you delegate. But you delegate to team leaders. So you need to pick team leaders first, and they are going to get the project and they will start it, and they will decide who's going to work with them in the team. If you want to give them that freedom, that's a possibility as well. And I'm going to show you that also. But right now I'm going to focus on create teams on the first option. So when you click create teams here, and then it gives you the roster. Gives you the roster. Now you can combine them. You can select who's going to work with whom. So here Benjamin is going to work with Sid, and then you press add to team. And then Darren will work with Elizabeth and add to team. And then Daniel is going to work by himself. And then now once you finished, so there you just created 3 teams. We just created 3 teams. Then all you have to do is just finish and assign. So you do finish and assign. And then it tells you assignment processing, check the class in a few minutes to see student project. Now, why is that? The reason is that it needs to now copy the same project 3 times. So it takes time. So, you know, if you have something else to do in the meantime, you can move on to another place while it is copying this and so on, okay? And then come back to the same class and check it out. And let's see, is there anything already? Yeah, there's already 2 of the 3 already were created. So very soon will be the 3rd one. And so, sorry. And then, so that's that. Now, what happened? This is your class. The class is here under my classes. These are the 2 projects that were already created. Here are all the 3 projects that were created that we just created. Each of them, although they have the same image, they can be distinguished by looking at the names. So you see that this is Sid and Benjamin, this is Darren and Elizabeth, and this is Daniel. And so this is how you know, and you get all of them. Your students are going to get only their own version. They are not going to get everybody's. They will not see everybody's, of course. Only you see all of them here. Okay. Now, so this is where you see the projects, and this is where you go into them and check them out. Then you have the next in the class. It says class D here, and it also has a class code and everything. And then you go to members. And members, you see who the students are. So here are all the students, and here is the teacher on this side. Now, you can co-teach a class. Let's say that you want to do a project with another teacher. You can do that. And the way to do that, all you have to do is just to click where it says class code here. It shows it in small. If you click on the little square here, it gives you the class code in big. And you can copy it and provide this to that other teacher. and that other teacher can then come into my classes here, log in, come into my classes, click on the plus button, and go to join class. And here they will type in that class code, and they will be part of the class. They will be listed here under the teachers. Now, let's say that you want to work together with two classes. You want to create like a class where both of you will work together with your students. That is also and the way to do it is the same. So instead of just giving that class code to another teacher, you will get the class code. That teacher will also give it to her students. So you can create combined classes for that specific project. And then you just give those students, you give them the class code. They will come in here, they will go to join class, type in that class code, and they will be part of the class. And guess what? This is also the way to collaborate with schools in other parts of the country, or even schools in other parts of the world. Project Pulse is working with schools in India, in China, in South Africa. So there will be also opportunities maybe to collaborate with them. So basically, it's, as I said before, it's really very powerful in that way. I mentioned before that there's a way to delegate projects to team leaders, and then they will decide who's going to work with them. And this is where, when you assign a project like that, this is where the project lands, and under assignments. And then it's always going to be on the top, and it will say not started. And then when that team leader logs in and comes to assignments, they will find that project that was just assigned to them, and they will press on start assignment. And then it tells them, oh, if you are part of the group, only the group leaders should start the assignment, and they confirm. And then they will get the roster. Instead of you getting, they will get the roster, and they will decide who's going to work with them in the team, and they will press start. At that moment, that project will be created, and in that class, in their class, and will show up under projects here. So they will, like we created here, these 3 projects, they will also get their own project if you are delegating. I just wanted to show you. I'm not sure that you, since you guys are elementary, probably the best way is for you to decide who's going to work in each team. But if you are trying to give them more independence, definitely you can do that, use that system. Let's see, how are we in terms of time? We have about 15 more minutes. Is that correct, Lisa?
Yes, ma'am, that's about right.
Okay. So,
Teacher, do you have any questions? Or I don't know, Miriam, would you want to continue, or are you open for questions?
yeah, I would like to continue because
Okay,
they
sure.
didn't see anything of what they can do.
Sure.
So basically, so I showed you the entire dashboard. So now this is the workspace. This is where the work is done. And we are breaking down projects into phases. So usually project-based learning, there's a question or a problem that they are trying to solve. And there's a whole bunch of other tabs in which they are kind of delving deep into the core knowledge that they absolutely have to know in order to solve that problem in the end, or whatever, okay? So in this case, they are trying to come up with the idea of, should ants be protected or have their population controlled? So it starts by first observing ants and finding out about ants. So this is how it starts. And so here are a bunch of questions, guiding questions. Now, how do you do questions? This is the tools palette on the left here. And you can do a lot of stuff. You can add text, for example. So when you click on text, it gives you an empty text box. And here, it also gives you the editing tools. So you can start typing and so on. And, and this is how you use it. Now, let's say that you just typed it and you realize you don't need it anymore. So you can now click on the 3 dots here. And it has an option. It doesn't have an option of delete, but it has an option that says archive object. So you click on archive. Now, why archive? Archive because we know that students many times inadvertently or sometimes in purpose remove stuff, especially if other students did it. So we wanted to avoid situation where things are going away forever. And so we are archiving everything. So everything can be restored. Now, we have a tool on the top here that is called the content library. And the content library has everything, every single piece of text or anything in the project is here. And you can repurpose it and reuse it again. And one of the sections that it has, it says show archive. So I'm going to click on the show archive button and move it to the other side. And here I'm going to find everything I archived. So if I need, so I just found the text box that says start typing. I click on it and I press restore and it's back. So just know that even if students are trying to get rid of something that another student was writing or anything, you can always restore everything. So nothing goes away forever. Okay, I wanted you to be aware of that. All right, now there's a bunch of questions and how do you use questions? And what you see here, what's great is you have a label that says question, and then you know what to expect. You know to expect questions here, right? So how do you create question? You click on the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth tool here. And here it gives you like a question placeholder that you can use the handles and you can resize and start typing the question, whatever question you have, and you can type there. Then we have media. So here you have a video and you double click on it. This is how you watch it. You just click and start watching it. But then how do you add media? So to add media, this is the third tool here. And this is the entire media of this project, okay? And to add new media, all you have to do is just go to Google and to any other, you go to Google. And by the way, we are only supporting YouTube videos. So if you have other videos, you need to upload them to YouTube and then we can support it. So let's say that I'm looking for ants here. And I have a few images here. I'm going to images and I'm selecting this. And then I'm going to right click and go to copy image address and go back to Project Pulse and go to the media and click on the plus button here and insert URL. I'm going to press and go. And here is the new image that I just got. So I'm going to click on it now. Place on workspace, and it gave it to me, put it on top of this video for some reason. And then now I can use the handles to make it bigger and do all kinds of stuff with it. And this is how you also add videos and any other sources. And you can, by the way, add any G Suite file or any, I already mentioned before, all the types of files that you can add here. Let's see what, okay. I'm not going to go into the components and events tool because this is more advanced and we still have other trainings that we're going to have. So we're going to focus on them later. So I'm just, going through here the tabs in general. All we have is questions, images, and text boxes that we already have covered. We have something that's called annotation. So what you see here, ant anatomy. So basically you have little annotations that kind of, you can delve deep and they can give you more information about each body part here. Now, how do you create annotations? The annotation tool is the second tool from the bottom. And if you click on it, then it opens up and you give it a title. You call it, in this case, I called it some body part. And you can put in here a video or an image, both can be here. And then you describe it using here text. You can also change its color. There's a lot of colors that you can make it, as you have here, many colors. And you can make it show only labels. So it doesn't show this icon here, which can take a big part of it. So you can just make it show only label. And when you do that, then, it looks like this. Okay, so you see here, this is the title. This is the image placeholder. So you will replace the image here with either a video or a real image of that body part. You change the word, so you can edit this. You change the word body part to abdomen or whatever the part this is. And then you replace it with the image, relevant image here. And you replace, it gives you scaffolding and tells you here, you can explain what this body part is doing and then press save and so on. So that's how you do this. And then let's look through this for a minute. The rest is all the same. I think it's everything we covered, all these types. There's one more type that you should probably know right now, and that is the relationship tool. So the relationship tool is the last tool here on the bottom. And this is the drawing tool. You need to move on to relationship. And you can connect any object in Project Pals to any other object. All you have to do is just click on the type of line, whether it's going to be solid or broken, and then the thickness of it, and then whether it ends with an arrow and then a color. And then when you select the relationship tool, every object gets these little purple dots that allow you to connect them to another object, to another object's purple tiles. And you can even define what is the relationship between them. So let's say leads to, or something like that, or whatever relationship exists, or no relationship. You can also turn this into nothing. So like we have on the top, you know, just connector and that's it. So that's how you connect. Okay, I think that this is it. Is your phone there or something?
Please mute. Thank you. Your mic. I don't know if you can mute her, Miriam. It looks like Miss Ibarra from Breeze Elementary. Sorry. Miriam, can you mute her? Can you mute her mic?
Yes, I can.
And if she needs any more work, you know, extra work.
Okay, let me just, where is it? Oh, here.
We have a question here. How can you show again how to restore from archive? And then we also had a question.
Oh, still, yeah.
After archiving, the class still shows up.
1 second, let me mute her because
It's Brenda Ibarra, Ruiz Elementary.
Because I've seen the way she folds them. And
now that I'm recording,
and that's always been
all participants here.
because mine one paper.
Ibarra.
So they just and depending how much and then they just have
If you click on the, okay, do you get it?
they have like some sheets.
If you click on the 3 dots above her square there, you should have an option to,
I don't find her. I'm looking for her. In
just
the
click on
list.
if you click on the arrows to see the scroll through the different participants.
Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Brenda Ibarra.
Oh, Brenda, here it is. Okay. She's mute. She's muted.
She's the one I'm seeing that doesn't have her microphone muted, and there's a lot of
No, it is
noise.
Brenda Ibarra. It is muted.
She's the only one.
Oh,
on
Brenda.
my-
Oh, there's another one. She logged in a different way.
More than likely, because that's the only one I see unmuted.
Yeah, but it doesn't let me mute her for some reason.
Maybe you
Oh,
can.
okay, yeah, it did.
Okay, great. So we can go ahead and proceed. The first question was from Ms. Guerra Lara. She says, I followed the instructions shared and was able to sync to my class. However, I am now found with last year's class, even after archiving them at the end of the school year last year. What should I do?
Okay, let me, so you only have last year class, or do you have also this year's class?
That both of them are on there. So when I go to members, Ms. Bogler, it's the 3 current students that I have right now. But then when I'm assigning the projects, it's my 4 kids from last year that pop up, even though I already archived my class.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
let me take care of that. Okay, so this is, yeah, okay. I will take care of that.
Thank you.
Okay.
The next question is, how can you show again how to restore from archive?
Yeah. So let's say that I am going to restore this here. That I'm going to actually archive this piece of text here. I click on the 3 dots. I'm going to archive object. and the object is gone. Now I'm going to the top button in the operations tools. I'm clicking on it, letting it open. And on the top, it says show archived. I click on it and move it to the right on the button. And when I do that, here it is on the top. That one was archived by me just now. And I'm going to open it with the arrow and press restore. And guess what? It put it back exactly where it was before. Okay.
All right, I have another question here. Can we get step-by-step instructions on hard copy through email? Ms. Sepulveda, instructions for what? For adding classes or specifically for what process? G. Sepulveda. For everything. I think I'm going to need you to be a little more specific.
Okay, so I seriously suggest that you go into this project that I told you, who are you? Okay, in the Project Pulse catalog, there's going to be another box here that says orientation, and this project will move there. And I need you to go to that project, and you are going here. If you are going here and going through all the videos that we have here, how to add text, how to use text, how to archive, how to add media, all of them have videos, short videos, like 1 to 2 minute videos, no more. And then if you go through all of these tabs, as a teacher, you don't need to do the assignments. That's just for your students. But you can open them and see how things are done here in this video. Just double click and press the play button and listen to these short videos. And I guarantee you that you will know, if not everything, almost everything how to do here.
Okay, thank you, Miriam. I think that answers the question that instead of step-by-step instructions, you actually have videos for each of the tools.
Yeah.
Just to make sure the teachers that are asking for that, G. Sepulveda and Lorena Villarreal, were you all able to get in and sync your classes? Because I'm not sure if that's one of the components they're asking for step-by-step instructions.
Yeah, there's no instructions how to import classes there because that was done for students. But we have it in our YouTube channel. I think I provided it to you. It's under playlists. It's getting started with Project Pulse. And here there are how to import Google Classroom. I mean, this is almost 2 minutes video. So here you can find a lot of functionalities. This is for teachers, you know, how to do stuff in Project Pulse. And let me give you again not again, but this time a link to that. This is in our YouTube channel, and that's the link to that.
Perfect, thank you. And I believe the teachers were able to get their, their classes synced and set up. So those short YouTube videos will be very helpful as well.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that. And we will still have more trainings, right, Ms. Dunn?
Yes, we will schedule another training after you've had some time to kind of navigate a little bit, teachers, to kind of start working with it. We'll schedule another training, so that way, in case you have questions after starting to use it a little bit more, those questions can be addressed. So thank you so much for being here, teachers. We're going to stick around a little bit longer. Miriam can go ahead and stop the recording at this point, but we will stay a little bit longer to address any questions that you have. All right, you're welcome.